In this tutorial, I'd like to show you how can we spawn any item on button click. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so here we are inside Unreal Engine. So the first thing to do, it's gonna be to jump into the blueprint, the third person character blueprint. I'd like to set the logic here. So if you have a car, you can set it inside your car logic. So I'm gonna just double click on the blueprint of my character and let's start setting up the logic. So the node that we're gonna be using to spawn object, it's called actor spawn. So you can just do right click and let's use spawn actor from class, this node right here. So this node is gonna take first the class. So the class is the element that we need to spawn. So for that, I'd like to create a new blueprint. So let me just go back here and we can do right click and go to blueprint class. And I'd like to, in my case, I'm gonna be using a character. So we can just click on character and let's call it BP underscore enemy. So let's call it the enemy. And I'm gonna double click on my enemy here. And I'd like to select the mesh. And on the right side, I'd like to assign any mesh or skeleton mesh that we want. I'm going to be using this one as an example. Let me just drag it a little bit down here. Also, our character needs to be facing the blue line, the blue arrow. So here I'm going to be just spinning it on the Z by minus 90 degrees. And we can give it some animation just to make it look good. So I'm going to be switching this to use animation assets. And we can, for example, use the attack animation, this one like this. So our character is going to be attacking our main character. All right, so let's go back to our third person character. And from here, from our class, we're going to be selecting this BP enemy. So let me just search for enemy over here, this one. And now we have to set the transform, the spawn transform. So basically inside our viewport, I'd like to add a character. So we are not inside enemy, we are inside the third person character. So I'd like to add the spawn position. So what we can do, we can select our capsule here and we can add a sphere. So this sphere, just the collision, not an actual sphere. And let me just put it forward. So basically we want to spawn our character, our enemy in front of our character. You can just tilt it a little bit to the right. All right, so I'm going to be using this sphere to spawn our enemy inside it. So inside the event graph, I'd like to drag my sphere like this. And after that, we need to get the transform out of it. So you can just drag and let's search for get word transform. This one right here. So this way, this node is going to give us the location of our sphere and our gameplay. And after that, we can use that transform and use it as the spawn transform. And for the collision, I'd like to ignore any collision for now. So you can just ignore the collisions. All right, so now we need to set when we're going to be executing our function, this one. So basically, we want to execute it once we press a key. So the key is going to be E, for example. So E, event, E, this one right here. And once it's pressed, I want to play or execute this function here, the spawn actor BP enemy. So let me just play, compile, and let's play our game. So now if we press E, we're going to be having a character spawn the enemy in front of us. There we go, we got another one. So as soon as we press E, you're going to be having a character in front of you. So that's it for this tutorial. So we learn how to spawn a character on button pressed.